Girlfriend, f23, asked me, m26, for a break after a sexual act. The other night we were driving back to her place from a hockey tournament. At some point along the drive, she jokingly brought up finishing on, instead of inside her that night. The reason being, she didn't want it leaking the next day during her game. Very reasonable request. Hours later, we're getting ready for bed. Things heat up and the deed begins. For reasons I'm still trying to figure out, I didn't remember what she told me and I finished inside her. I immediately apologized, admitted fault, and showed concern for her well-being and my idiocy. I did not do this with ill or selfish intent, I simply forgot. Perhaps due to exhaustion, habit or poor communication. She was understandably upset and didn't respond kindly to my suggestions as to why this happened, nor my solutions to avoid it in the future. It was very late. We were both exhausted from the day and frustrated with each other. We went to bed feeling uneasy and had to part ways early the next morning without any discussion. She asked for a break the following day to think things over. For context, a similar event happened to her in the past and she ended the relationship immediately. I have never encountered such an issue, nor have we had trust issues related to intimacy in the past. She has an IUD, so we are not concerned about pregnancy. We are reconvening in a couple days and I want to resolve, learn and move on from this issue. How should I approach this conversation? It's a very sensitive topic and I truly love her. Any suggestions or insight would be helpful. TL. Dear, I finished inside of my girlfriend after forgetting she told me not to. Feeling stupid and remorseful. She's thinking that you don't care. She told you not to, but you did it regardless. It doesn't matter if it was intentional or not. If you tell someone, "Hey, this is important for me, please don't do this," person agrees, but then later, "Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot." It's a lot of things that happen then. You feel frustrated. Trust is broken. You feel disrespected. Actions, words, dude. Give her space, and when you come back, don't give excuses next time. Just say you know what you did wasn't okay and that it made her uncomfortable, and you'll make efforts to not do that again. I've had so many moments in my life where a guy forgot something. I forgot you were waiting for marriage. I forgot you said no to anal. I forgot you didn't want me to take a condom off. It took me a long time to understand why it always left me feeling so violated, and it turned out it was because I was being violated. Man, I would let her do the talking and leading. The only thing you can learn from this issue is to listen to your dang girlfriend. I forgot is a weak excuse, especially when she told you just hours before the deed. What poor communication. She explicitly told you and you agreed. I think the fact that you knew she had issues with this in the past is probably what's making this such a big deal. In her mind, you're both aware she has prior trauma around this, and knew she stated her boundary. And then you went and did it anyways because your pleasure was more important than her consent. I don't think there would be anything you could say for me to get over this if I were in her shoes. Not sure why you said, "We were both exhausted from the day and frustrated with each other." There doesn't seem to be a reason for you to be frustrated at all. Honestly, if my partner was frustrated after making such a huge mistake, it would be a huge turn off. Okay, did she just jokingly bring it up, or did she actually ask you to come outside? 'Cause her reaction doesn't match up with someone who would just joke about you not coming in her. How hard is it not to bust your load inside her? Damn. This title is so misleading. She didn't ask for a break after a sexual act. She asked for a break because she set a firm boundary and the same day you broke it. TBH. It's bad even if you truly forgot. There are only two ways to look at it. A. You maliciously did something that you knew that she didn't want, which would end their relationship. B. You literally forgot about a sexual boundary and therefore you can never be trusted, because who's to say you won't forget again? Realistically, I would be prepared for the end of the relationship. Take accountability. Apologize without making any excuses. E.g., I forgot. Intent is the key to taking accountability and apologizing. E.g., I'm sorry, I won't do this again. I understand how it has affected you and I'll make sure it doesn't ever happen again. Don't say I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do, I just forgot. I think the fact you say even now that she jokingly mentioned finishing on her meant that you weren't taking it seriously and may still not be, despite saying she had a good reason for the request. This, coupled with the fact that it is a previous trauma for her, is making the situation significantly worse, I think. And honestly, it feels like you still aren't taking it seriously. So please step back and consider your perspective and why it isn't fully aligning with hers. Look, dude, you messed up big time by not respecting her boundaries and forgetting something so important. But the key here is to own up to your mistake, sincerely apologize, and listen to her concerns without making excuses or suggesting solutions that she might not be ready to hear. You knew all the things, and knew she had past trauma, but considering that this has happened before apparently, it's almost like you kind of chose to ignore it. Also, I really want to point out and stress the fact that just because someone has an IUD does not mean they can't get pregnant. I have a friend who her two brothers and her own mother were IUD babies. Having an IUD is not 100%. All you can do at this point is apologize and hope she accepts it. Make sure she knows it wasn't purposeful and you never want to disregard her boundaries. That's about all you can do. Simply forgot? Poor communication? Please. Dude, you messed up big time and she has every right to be angry. I know I'd be. The best thing to do is apologize and give her time to approach you when she's ready. How was there poor communication? She communicated very clearly with you. You chose to ignore her wishes in lieu of your own selfish pleasure. How should I approach this conversation? By being quiet and taking ownership of your mess up. She had a boundary in place. You broke it. You were caught up in the moment. It was a mental lapse in your part. Bring something, a gift, or card, showing her how sorry you are as well when you do see her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.